Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 625, live on October 1st, 2025. I'm your host, Dustin.
I am temporarily on the prairies, Tony.
Adriel.
And I'm Kyle.
Wonderful. Well, what another wonderful week in firearms ownership in Canada it has been. I'm sure you all feel the exact same way. Why don't we talk about what we did in guns, you guys? Tony, since you're in my homeland, you start.
Yeah, no, Saskatchewan is always very nice. I did a few things. Of course, I can't show them, which makes it really awkward. But I loaded some 308 for hunting using I have the TSX, the full copper bullets, but probably not going to have enough time to test them and shoot them this year. I have the Spear.
What weight? What weight with the TSX?
I think I have the 150s, but I don't think I'm going to shoot them today. I have the Spear Hawkcore 150 grain as well, soft point. You remember I was talking about a story of me scratching jackets on, I think that was 308 as well, like the target style bullets. It's still kind of happening even after I wash stainless pins and then deburr. But I did experiment. If I deburr like really aggressively, like press the whole drill tip into the mouse and start spinning, it seems to improve it quite a bit. But then inadvertently, I'm kind of opening the case mouth like how you would load a stray wall case. I guess maybe it's okay. I'll have to see if scratching the bullet actually have an effect on the accuracy. I don't believe it does. So that's that. I managed to have a meeting. Well, met up with one of my colleagues who was interested in hunting as well. We talked about it last year. We didn't end up going out. So it was going to be a really fun thing. Blind leading blind, the whole thing is going to be great. He had access to some farmland near Lethbridge. So it's been hunting season 2025 now. It was 2024. We talked about it. We didn't go out. And it's only about now we brought it back up. I was busy with work. So he showed me some pictures, and I found the target was a white-tailed deer, but the pictures were of mule deer. So it's like, that's a white butt, and that's not a wide tail. So it's like, So I was looking it up. It was near Lethbridge. It's confirming what Wildlife Management Unit, WMU, was. And that unit, well, for the majority of the 100 series, like prairie land in Alberta, it's mule deer is going to be a draw, both antlerless and antlered. And I believe I was looking at the stats. The draw rate is about 12% for antlered and about 20 to 30% for antlerless. And the draw time is way gone by, so we're not going to make that. But white-tailed deer antlered, so a well-tailed buck, has to be spiked over a certain length. I think it was 3 or 6 inches. Those are over the counter. You can use a general tag for that. So we might still go out after I go out to hunting camp with Adriel. Again, this is going to be a blind leading the blind experiment. It's going to be great and terrible at the same time. Or we might just find some public land near Calgary and try our luck there. Another thing I can't show you is I finally have the barrel nut secured on my 450 Bushmaster SBI LPC. I had the help from Foothill Farm Training Dave. And at my request, specifically that we use the Magpul Bev block to secure the barrel because they have an extension steel insert thingy. I'll share a link to this video by School of the American Rifle, who like does classes in the US about building ARs and stuff. And he tested like a few fixtures on how some fixture will allow the barrel to slightly rotate when you're torquing down the barrel versus not. And that block in that comparison actually did quite well. So that's why I specifically requested. And they've had quite some good stuff. You have Aeroshell, which he was looking at my barrel, and I had a picture on Discord. It's like the over-applied copper anti-seize. And he's like, what is this? And it's like, it's copper anti-seize. And like, I have Aeroshells. I don't want to waste your Aeroshell for the first part. Second, you just want something there. If you don't have access to the specific Aeroshell, I think it's what? Either 64, which is a newer generation, or the 33 MS. What's the older generation?
For our listeners, what is Aeroshell?
It is a type of grease produced by the Shell Corporation, apparently initially for like aeroplane applications, but it's often used like NICs for an AR application, where how the School of American Rifle puts it is where you have two dissimilar metals touching each other and you want to torque them. For example, your barrel nut, steel or titanium, hopefully not aluminum. Some people do it. On your aluminum receiver, dissimilar metal, you put Aeroshell on it, so you get a more accurate torque rating. Some people would do it on, like on your grip screws. That's a little bit excessive, but in some cases, you can also use Loctite to achieve that quote-unquote wet torque. And some Hewitt American Rifle would also recommend you put it on the Castle nut, which I guess the concept works because it's steel nut on aluminum too, but that just to me seems a little excessive.
So on the Loctite thing, I just want to jump in on that. Especially like the barrel nut, I wouldn't be using anything other than green. And that's just to prevent it loosening off again. Like it'll lube up a little bit putting on, but it'll also prevent it from undoing it. Another thing guys will use is rock set. So that rock set will go on and it'll lock it on there. And then you just have to soak it in water for like 24 hours to actually release it.
Yep. So just like some muzzle devices, people would use rock set for that as well. Just because even red Loctite has a release temperature limit, and you're near your chamber on your barrel nut or at your muzzle, it's quite hot.
Yes, I've red Loctited a few things, butt stocks, and it's a pain in the ass
to get off. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I got frustrated with it backing off, so I just red Loctited it.
This is going on your Bushmaster, though, right, Tony?
Correct.
So you don't need to worry about heat.
No,
get that thing
5 shots, I'm done, kind of thing. And it's not as competition critical or mission critical as a competition gun. For example, if I'm in the field, it's starting to loosen up, I can finish the trip probably, shoot it loosey-goosey, harvest the deer, figure it out later. Or I'll just have my PR beside it, and I can just go to a different gun for hunting. Yeah, so that's about it for what I did in guns. I'll be able to show you guys all the things, hopefully next week. And you can see, obviously, it's kind of dark. I'm sounding probably pretty terrible and on the prairies. Which
looks like a hotel room.
Looks like a hotel room. Kind of dark one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Adriel next.
I've been out for 2 weeks. 3? Maybe.
At least 2.
At least 2. I met Dustin. I went down to Vancouver. We met.
Yeah.
He's as colorful as he shows up on the camera.
It's a very nice way to describe it.
Yeah, it was cool. We've been talking for so long. It was kind of funny because I was thinking about it on the drive, like it's sitting and just drinking beers with you. It was in person, but it kind of just felt like us hanging out after the show. It's like
I know, right?
The same. Yeah. Yeah, so I went down to Vancouver, picked up a car, and ripped back up to Edmonton. And then because I'm glutton for punishment, I snuck in a private pal, our pal, on the Sunday and then Monday afternoon. And let's see what else happened. Oh, this showed up. Not that. This.
The twin barrel.
Oh
A twin barrel. The JTS showed up. So this is the one that's got the rising stock. And it's got the external chokes. That's really what I was after. And they're color-coded. Oh.
I really like that.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, and it comes with a really shitty plastic choke case. But
better than not having one. I can tell you
what's inside that counts, right?
my Nova Speed didn't have that.
Yeah. So 3 more chokes in there.
Why so
And
many washers? What the?
some washers. For sizing things, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Like tilting your stock, maybe?
Man, I don't know. Anyways, I did get a chance to use it a little bit, looking for grouse and that kind of thing. Didn't see any. It is stiff. It's quite stiff opening.
Does
closing,
it eject?
It does eject. Yeah. It does
See,
eject.
that's why it's stiff.
Yep. I just wanted to use it a bunch first and then oil it, just because I thought that way it would kind of wear in a little bit. But I did notice something interesting about this gun. I want to show you guys and see if you agree. And let me get a little bit more light on. What do you notice about that?
Is it a universal thing for both an over under and a side by side on a single?
It is,
chassis?
yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Right? That's what it has to be,
good.
right?
That's absolutely what that is.
It
Almost
could be a
certainly.
quad barrel shotgun. So
Or
That's-
drilling.
I hate it.
That is
That's-
interesting.
That is what it is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but the receiver's not
that
wide. Like,
absolutely
It's not wide
is.
enough.
no, it's not wide enough.
But
Unless they do that for the fork.
Is that hinge plate and your firing pin plate separate?
No.
no, you're
Yeah,
right. What?
But why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, maybe they just mill. I don't know why you do that.
Use some kind of old machinery and they just drill the holes there because they can't stop the process from going. That's
If one of the
That's interesting.
listeners is just yelling at their screen right now, they know the
yeah.
answer. We can't
The-
hear you, but
the real question is: it worth the $650?
I feel like it is.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to raise the cheek rest a little bit just because my head gets quite low and I'm kind of looking through where that barrel would be. So I'm going to raise that a bit, and then I'm going to use and abuse it a bunch more, and then take it apart and oil it because I want it. Yeah, I want it nice and used.
What's
and
the ultimate goal? You're gonna get into sporting clays because 3 Guns dead.
No. So one of our listeners was like trying to get me to do sporting clays, and I was like, no, that's not what this is about. I just want to shoot pheasants with a very classy gun.
Yes,
So is that
That is-
28-inch barrels?
yes.
Nice.
It's 28 inch.
So, 12 gauge, 2 3/4, and 3-inch. Blah blah blah. It doesn't say it, but yeah, I think it's 28.
Yeah, you bought that one from Tenda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 28 inches.
No automatic safety, which I like. I hate
Yes.
automatic
Yes.
safeties. So
Yeah.
if it's on fire and this thing's open, it closes. It doesn't
Nice.
move it. Yeah, it stays on there. Got the little side to side one for selecting which one goes first, and I like it. It's got just a white and a red to tell you which one's going to fire first. I think, right?
I like that.
If you want the over or the under, it came with the IC and the mod on there. I'm going to swap it for a mod and an improved mod. Just a little tighter than that. IC is pretty close, but yeah. And then I'm going to go for a pheasant hunting trip in the middle of October, and that's what I'm going to bring. The only downside is there are no sling attach points on here. I don't think I'm not going to put any on them.
No, you can fix
I'll just-
that.
I'll just do like this, just like carry it over my shoulder, broken open like that, and point the gun at everyone because that's I got a break action. That's what I'm allowed to do it now.
Yeah, that's
True, right?
just the clay sport thing. Yeah.
It's comfortable. I can like you can take a leak like this. You can put the shotgun over your shoulder and it'll just balance there, and you can take a leak. which is my requirements for firearms handling. Safe firearms handling.
Okay.
Amazing.
I went to my buddy's property last weekend, and we built, I say blinds, but we made a blind. We used a bunch of like salvage material from like the 1940s, some like slats and tongue and groove boards, and it took all friggin' day for 4 of us to make one decent blind. It's a big blind. We made a 4x8. It's gigantic.
Okay, so yeah.
Why can't you just buy a store-bought blind?
I mean, you could, yeah. But then how are you going to drink and like party and hang out and that kind of thing? Just going to stick it up and you're like, I guess we're done. No time to drink. We just go home now. hang out with our kids and wives, I guess.
Who wants to do that?
Does it sound depressing, Tony? Like, geez.
I don't know. I've heard from media you need to do scouting and stuff. I have no idea.
We scouted too at the same time. Like that was part of it. We scouted for a day to see where the game trails were. And then we found a couple spots, one where we put a permanent blind and one where we're just going to do a temporary, where we cut the grass down and put a little bit of plywood down so we could stick up like a pop-up blind. And we went looking for grouse, and that area is not grousey, so there was no grouse. It's funny how
have your deer tag filled before you even come to camp.
No, because camp will be like the 1st of November, and that's in most of like the regular areas. That's like the start of general season. I know that there's some like further places further out of the way where you could start a little bit earlier. I don't really like hunting earlier though. You shoot a deer and it's like, oh my god, now I got to get this thing parted out. I got to get it on ice. I got to it's a rush. Whereas in November, it's like, the outside's my fridge. That's good. Yeah. Speaking of, I really got to sight in my hunting rifles. I have new scopes on all of them. I have 3 of them to sight in because me and 2 boys.
Why? You sighted in your 300 Win Mag and you're going to do it again?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you also
I've shot it. I haven't really sighted it in for the ammo I'm going to be using. So
also you have your punishment of a 7-round mag.
What, 7-round mag?
No, 7-round mag. Remington mag.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to hunt with that one this year. That's I think I'm going to turn that one into a PAL gun. Yeah, because like 300 Win Mag is and 6.5 Creedmoor for the older boy, and then 243 for the younger one. Yeah, and then I'm just packing for the team match, and I think I'm going to bring this guy again.
Yeah,
nice.
Oh, yeah, nice big mags. Shoot fast, get jams. Who cares? Shoot faster.
Shoot real fast, get jams sometimes.
I'm really happy that my PR did not have any malfunctions that I can recall at BOA. That was really good.
For the Rimfire Madness, I was like, yeah, it ran okay. And I looked at my video, I'm like, oh, there's so many jams. There's so many jams, but they're quick ones where it's just like, it's short strokes. So you just rack it and keep firing or whatever, right? It's, mostly fine. I'm also not going to use quality ammo for this match. I'm just going to use Blazer probably. That's as good as
one of the largest matches. You're not going to use quality ammo. How dare you?
Blazer's my quality ammo. You think I should bring out the 10x? Pack out the 10x for this?
I don't think 10x run any better in semi-autos just because they're kind of underpowered.
So what's a good quality high velocity cartridge? You think?
CCI Minimag?
I disagree. CCI Minimags are like they function pretty good, but the actual accuracy of them is trash.
Well, yeah, you want reliability over accuracy. This is an action sport.
Blazer gives me both. Blazer gives me like okay accuracy, not very good. Still not as good as CCI standard velocity, but gives me that high velocity, so it cycles a little bit better and it goes longer range a bit better. Shooting SV at long range is a bugger for matches. Not like if you have the bolt and you have a laser rangefinder and you know your drops, no problem. But if I want to shoot like close in or far, yeah, sporting rifles saying Ely Force. I've tried that stuff. Is it Force? What's the gray stuff? Or is it Edge or something else? I tried that black box stuff and I kept getting it like split the case and puncture the case back. Too much power. Too much power in that Ely.
Yeah, I used to shoot black box all the time.
Yeah. But no, I like to shoot fast and shoot often. I don't want to think about how much that's costing me. I'm shooting laser. I will pull the trigger as fast, and those close-in targets, they're just going to get lit up, and I won't care about it because I bought that stuff a long time ago, and it's probably 5 cents around. Yeah, so for division, I was going to go with the M1 Garand, but I had to switch partners. So now this partner wants to do 22 Unlimited. I like to shoot 22 Unlimited. I like to go fast.
Yeah.
22 Unlimited is fun. Like, shoot with the M1 Garand, it's like I'm over aiming at everything because it's like I only have 8 rounds in this thing, and I got to reload it, and sometimes it jams up, and sometimes it just fails to fire. So I really want to like make my hits. Whereas with this thing, I'm just hosing everything. Long range targets, blah, 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 just fire 3 or 4 out of them. One of them's gonna hit. Next one, just light it up. There's no like waiting to hear the ring of the steel back. Now just get after it. So
yeah, I'm just not that fast, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. I feel like
22.
The PR is a good pace. I shoot, I rack it. I shoot, I rack it. It's a good pace. It's controlled.
No,
and I feel that's a lesson in BOA as well. Just like I shoot at pistol targets, like I shot at A zone. Maybe I just
fast,
back out of it
because of their scoring at the team match. I'm going to shoot just a little bit slower so I get those center hits. No down ones, no down twos, down threes.
Oh, hit factor. Well, that's
Vickers count.
No, it's Vickers count, which is just a little bit weirder. Anyways, that's it for me. Kyle, what have you been up to?
Well, I registered for SHOT Show. So curious, so I went and checked it out. So actually registered, and I don't know if you guys, I know I mentioned to you guys, did any of you guys signed up yet?
I definitely need to.
I won't be able to make it this year.
No. But getting things ready for Memorial, building a rifle for one of the guys so that nobody has to share. And
oh god, the armorer has arrived. Was it whole crate of AR?
I will say it's my first build on a Anderson lower, and I hate it.
Rip Anderson.
I absolutely hate it. The dimensions are like completely wrong.
Okay, so like which parts?
So on your main body, where your safety is here, like this came out of my Modern Sporter. It's a Radian safety, Talon safety, and there is a good at least 1/8 inch gap between the receiver and. Oh, it's not wobbly because once the detent's in there, it's holding it in place, but you should not have that gap there. Another thing is, and I got to do some deciding on what I'm going to do because I can't get a Timney drop in here.
The hole is too small?
No, it's not the hole. Yeah, what I'm seeing is it is contacting. They have the curve here. Yeah, there we go. Where they have the curve at the front there. It's very, very slight, like maybe like less than 30 seconds of an inch. But that rounding inhibits the trigger to go forward to actually get the pins in. And I think that the depth is a little off too because the safety seemed like it was pretty tight along the safety bar on the trigger itself. So yeah, I'm not happy with Anderson. They're cheap lowers, and they are extremely cheap lowers where it's becoming incredibly difficult to make an actually decent rifle out of it.
Well, I don't dead now.
So I've thought about taking a Dremel to the front section of that pocket where that trigger goes, just to get that little bit out and see if I can get it to work, and then might have to go modern varmint on the safety and take some out of that so that it works with the safety bar on the trigger. So for those watching and don't know, so there's your trigger. This is the AR Pro. This is where your safety engages. and that's what I'm calling the safety bar. So right now the safety is too tight on here, where even with this pressed in here, I haven't done the tightening screws that are on the bottom. It's just dropped in there trying to get the trigger pins in, and it's already tight on this trigger bar. So that being said, I just had this thought. I got to see how it's actually installed in my modern environment, because with the modern environments, they had to actually do machining on the safety bar. Like when I gave them the trigger to put in there, they said this won't work in any other gun now.
What is the story about the ATRSs that, like, I've heard about the story of you have to send your trigger in for them to fit it.
Yes. So if you look at the top, and I'm actually really curious on this because they only use one pin. They use the front pin, and actually, I actually have mine here because I was looking at robbing some parts off of it. So I'll pull this side out. The light. So if you see, there's only one trigger pin on it. And then they have to do machining on that safety bar for the engagement with your safety.
Interesting. So it's a proprietary way of installing the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was for the modern varmints themselves. But I'm actually curious. I might play around with that, see about pulling that trigger out and see if after dremeling the front of the receiver, the front of the trigger pocket, if what they've machined on that safety bar, if that's enough to work with this Anderson lower. But other goodies on this, just cheap Luth AR buttstock, ergo grip on the forend, just because I have tons of that stuff. Found a use for my old Lancer magwell for my old AR build. It requires the forged lowers because it moves it goes in your pinhole for where your trigger guard goes. Through my Phase 5 bad lever on there. It's got Ergo 15-inch ultralight handguard. That is a stretch 16 barrel on there. So I figure whoever's going to be running this is going to get a pretty sweet shooting. Well, it should be a sweet shooting rifle.
Pretty swanky.
Yeah.
What bolts are you using?
I am using because I am short on bolts. That's part of the reason that's taken apart is I stealing the bolt out of my modern environment.
And do you remember what brand of bolt it was? Or was it ATRS?
It's nothing special. It's just basically your standard, just full auto AR bolt. All they do is they cut a notch in there for the side charge. So that notch there is where the side charge on the modern environment where it catches to do it.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what's gonna go in this. It's just a basic standard part. Another interesting thing with this Lancer magwell, I realized you can't use Gen 3 PMags on it.
Because they have a
on
the back. Yeah.
Because of the lip on the back, it will not go in far enough. But the Gen 2, Gen 2 works just fine. So that magwell might end up coming off. We'll see what Buddy decides. So yeah, no, it should be it's not going to be super great, but we're going to have adjustable gas block on it. Probably just a standard buffer. I'm not going to run I do have an ultra, or not an ultralight, but a lightweight low mass buffer I could throw in here, but yeah, just do the adjustable gas block. Hopefully get a good trigger. I really do not want to build a rifle for someone to use and not put a Timney in there. So yeah, I might pull out the Dremel and see what I can do to make that work, because it is just cheap Anderson lower.
Have you used any other cheaper lower that worked?
Well, my first one was built off of an Armalite, older Armalite, like Mod 2, I think. And that was my first AR I've ever owned, and I built that one, and I didn't have any issues. Like I put a Timney in it right away, and like that's the lower that Magwell was on, and everything. So same safety. Its dimensions were correct. This Anderson, no, they're not. They're not correct dimensions.
I don't understand, like, being able to get away with that just ever. Like, it's not that hard to get the right dimensions for something like that.
Well, especially like a forged lower. How many molds are out there for just like
Probably over machined to get rid of some maybe imperfections. That will be my guess.
Or maybe it's easier to just machine it round rather than broach it square like it should be. Maybe that round radius is getting in the way.
Round drill bit right from the top.
Yeah. I mean, you just need a smaller bit for less radius on that cut.
Oh, but then you got to do a tool change, and now you're adding cost. And
yeah. But other than that, just getting ready for Memorial. I gotta build Craig's shotgun here. We got some more parts in for that, so might have to do some modification to a bolt. I have to talk to him and see if he wants me to do the mods on it, because he bought an ethos bolt. It's supposed to have a anti-bounce detent on it, and because he's been having a lot of shotgun issues, so we got some new parts here and build his shotgun that's down here, and hopefully we can get it so that it's running proper. But that's it for me. Dustin, how about you?
Cool. I didn't get down to a whole ton of gun stuff, but let me tell you about. Let me scroll back up to what I've been doing. So I actually had an interesting conversation the other day with somebody in the shop. It was a set deck guy who will remain nameless, because we had a conversation where I had to correct him on what is and isn't currently prohibited and what he can and cannot currently take and go shoot. He was unaware that he wasn't allowed, or that he was allowed to take his handguns out. He thought that ever since the great handgun sale ban, he hasn't been allowed to use them. So he hasn't been using them. Set deck is a different department, so it's just like happenstance we ended up talking today. So through the conversation, I'm like, no, you can still shoot your handguns, like that's still allowed. He's like, oh, that's good, because I was like getting tired of just shooting my GSG 16. I'm like, oh no, you can't. Don't take that out anymore.
No, it's pink. It's too dangerous. Don't do that.
Yeah. So I think that there is still much confusion over what is and isn't legal. Just for the standard public who maybe isn't as plugged in as us. But I thought that was, he was in danger of criminal charges.
It's just what it is, though. Like, I missed the whole pistol thing because I wasn't a subscriber to Slamfire. I wasn't into shooting sports. I didn't know. Yeah. And I didn't even know there was a freeze-hand handgun. I saw it wasn't my choice. I didn't buy a handgun because I thought the only thing you can do was shoot in a straight line in a shooting gallery, like a shooting range indoor, and indoor ranges were very expensive at the time, man. I probably could have squeezed it out, but I just thought if I'm shooting 10 meters and that's all I'm doing, it doesn't seem too appealing. But sidetrack.
No, I get that, and I get that like a lot of people are like that, or just not plugged in, just not aware. I felt bad because he's like literally missed out on years of shooting his handgun, but I'm also glad that he hasn't picked up a criminal charge for the unlawful use of a prohibited weapon. So corrected that, which is good, and I feel like I'll put that in my win column for the week. I have started so Adriel came over week before last, and I have started to explore what elements it's going to take. I have a space in this house that I could build into business storage. I've started to explore like all of the components and things that I think it will take to convert that space into legal, safe business storage for firearms, because they have to be stored separately from all of my other guns. And I'm not we're going to talk about this in the main topic, as far as like what folks are and are not going to do about their, their prohibited firearms, but at least starting to explore this. The government has officially started the clock. It doesn't look like grandfathering is going to happen, so decisions have to be made in the next year and a few days. So that's something I've started to put a list together. I've had some more back and forth with my MP's office, not actually getting to speak to my MP.
Sorry, Dustin, not to interrupt. Did you make a list or did you make a registry?
Funny. Paper list. Paper is king for lists. So, so some more back and forth. I'm still trying to get a meeting with my MP. His office is happily playing blocker. They sent me a response back to my 4 emails I sent over 5 days, because first it was the Carney gaffe where it's oh, it's totally voluntary. No, it wasn't the gaffe, it was the Carney lie. Oh, it's totally voluntary. It was always voluntary. So that was what had sparked off the email conversation, and then the recording came out, and then more lies. And so I've sent 3 more sort of follow-up emails, and I got one back from my first slew of questions to my MP. Got no answers. They were just we're still working to get you the information that you have requested, and Terry is reviewing this, yada, yada, yada. However, since then, the government has given us this information that we have shared with you, and it's just the government propaganda, two paragraphs on the assault style firearms compensation program has. Anyway, so yeah, more back and forth with them. At some point, I'll get a meeting with him. Not that it'll really matter. I am still window shopping for shotguns. I was kind of waiting to see how Adriel liked that one before I bought it, because there's there's a couple other things I don't need but kind of want, and I'm trying not to spend all the money in the world right before Christmas. So I don't know what I'm getting for myself yet, but I want a new gun. I want a new gun, and so I will get one eventually.
How about a revolver 22?
I have a buddy that says that's not a great gun.
Yeah, oh, man. I should have said it was the best. He
really talked me real out of it, because I was super enthused about that, and then it was oh, it's darn not good. It's too bad. But he's cool. He's a cool guy. He likes to spend money and discover those things for us, so that we don't all have to make poor financial decisions. So that's appreciated. Some more VR with guns, because why not? It's fun. I'm not allowed to shoot real guns anymore, so kidding, I still can. I loaded some. I have a buddy doing an indie film right now, and so he reached out to me, and it's a fun little project. So I loaded some dummies for him, some camera dummies, and picked out some holsters, a few other little bits for him, and then I made some half rubber stuffers. So I didn't have the time to be, armorer or supervising his set, and for most of what they were doing, they didn't need any real guns, just replicas. There's things that would just need to be in holsters, but a gun that looks like a real gun is considered a replica and is a prohibited device. And to get around that for him for his shoot, because the guns aren't actually going to come out, which is great. I cast some half rubbers for him. So basically, they're not full guns, so they're not replicating anything. They just have the handle, the grip sticking out of the holster, and kind of mounted them into the holsters. So it's a kind of a film solve for avoiding putting prohibited stuff out into the world when it's unnecessary. So did do that over the weekend as well. So and that's kind of been it. That plus a little bit of keyboard warrioring with all the stuff that's been going on. And with that, let's roll on into upcoming events. So Adriel, you want to read us what's going on with Maple Seeds? Nope, maybe not.
We got some events in Ontario.
Cool.
That's it.
There's
MapleSeedRifleman.com.
wonderful. We've also got HGG Firearms Training.ca. You've got a PAL course coming up on the 18th.
Pretty soon here. Yep, pretty soon. That one's almost sold out. I may have an RPAL on the 19th, or I might just do another PAL. I haven't decided yet.
Cool.
I've had like 3 people ask me about RPALs, but
Folks, get your RPAL. One day it will be useful once again.
maybe. Yep.
Yep. And then you got another one on the 25th because you just don't like having time to yourself.
No, every weekend.
No,
Just gotta be doing something. That one's in Bonnieville.
That's fair.
And you know what? That's just one day, but I might do a private course on the other day, just so I don't have any free time.
Don't forget, you need to pack up for hunting camp for that week.
I got the trailer. That's got most everything in it. Grab a gun and some ammo and some beer.
Chuck it in there.
Yeah, good to go.
3 gun matches, 3gun.ca. You got Chaz on October 4th. You got a team match in Peace River, October 4th and 5th. SPFGA October 18th and November 1st. And then another one at Chaz on November 8th.
So when's that steel challenge at Chaz? There's a steel match I saw posted.
Oh, I think that one might be this weekend.
Oh, okay. They made this weekend the steel match. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, on to the news. So this first one is from the Star. I don't know if anybody wants to mirror the screen or not, but we've got it's really interesting. We've kind of got what's the physics principle? The
Bueller.
Yeah, my brain's farting.
Bueller.
Well, we've got this situation. So the government wanted to send our rifles to the Ukraine, right? So we've got this situation where our military style firearms that are meant for the battlefield to kill as many people in the shortest amount of time, but they don't actually seem to interest the people who need guns to fight a war right now.
But wait a minute. They said that the Ukrainians looked at the list and said there was a bunch of stuff they wanted.
Yeah, I think so. For our listeners who can't see, we've just got the article up from the Star. Carney government cancels plans to send buyback rifles to Ukraine after extremely limited interest. And I would suspect the interest that is extremely limited was interest in some of the Javelin missile launchers and things of that nature that were on the list.
AT4s, there are a few 50 cals on there, so they could use those.
I'll bet you that they could use those, but it is just really interesting that we've got this this situation where our guns are simultaneously weapons of war and yet not weapons that folks fighting a war begging for weapons need. So that's fun and interesting, but all of your pink GSGs will no longer be going to Ukraine. They will more likely be going into the smelter.
That's so sad. I could see some war pictures with pink GSGs charging the new World Classic.
Yeah, well,
it's colors.
It's an assault weapon, baby. That's
WK-180Cs over there breaking
off rods. Yeah, just crapping out parts of their bolt carrier group every once in a while. Yeah, no.
Since you mentioned the smelter, I don't see it on the list. Do you want to talk about the one that came out today?
Which one came out today?
The one that says who's actually going to be putting the guns in this smelter?
Oh yeah. You add it to the list. Let me continue to ramble. Put it on the bottom, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So again, for any of our listeners that aren't or have been under a rock, the buyback budget has been officially announced. It will be $742 million, and that is for the entirety of the program, not just to buy the guns back, but also to operate the program, leading us to suspect, or just by basic math, be able to recognize that budget's not even going to cover the formerly restricted firearms. And if you have a non-restricted or formerly non-restricted, now prohibited firearm, you're not getting paid for that. What did you think? The government was being honest with you? Yeah. So that's it, folks. $742 million to operate the entire project. So when the government, and Carney are happy to say, oh no, we're respecting gun owners and we're giving them an opportunity to get fair compensation for their property. I don't know what they consider fair compensation, but pennies on the dollar certainly is not it. Yeah. So in other news, IPSC officially adds an optics division, standard optics, no major. That's cool.
Yeah, there's talks about it, but it actually came out officially. It's basically like limited optics in USPSA or standard optics. And yeah, the one thing I saw from their table on what's allowed and not is like it's still 140 mil or 141.25 millimeter mags, but there is no major power factor. And I actually was reading this week that IPSC is actually seems like they're phasing out major outside of open.
Huh, interesting.
Which I would love to see, because who wants to shoot 40? Nobody.
Yeah, it's silly.
I want to shoot 45.
Well, then go shoot single stack.
Yeah, shoot
That's
classic.
Well, in Canada, you don't get drawback as much, right? Because you're limited to 10 anyway. So
It's fair. Anyway, moving on. CBSA was awesome. They managed to seize 48 guns and tens of thousands of rounds of ammunition at a border crossing in Windsor, Ontario. Now, my understanding, and congrats to them, because they actually got some illegal guns. These were being smuggled in from the States. And since they were being smuggled in from the States,
most of them weren't smuggled in.
Oh,
CBSA found out about it. This guy was having some stuff shipped to his house, but most of the stuff was from a search warrant.
Oh, so they just confiscated everything because he had some illegal things.
Yeah.
Okay.
he had auto sears and stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
There was one gun with the block on it.
Most of his mags were prohib.
Yeah.
And auto sears, lots of those.
17,000 rounds of ammo. He had a good little
I was thinking a different.
good little weekend worth of ammo.
Yeah, he have the fun switch enabled, so you'll run
You
through
need
that
the
right
extra
quick.
ammo.
No,
right?
I'm sorry. I'll shut up about that because I didn't see this one. That was a different article where they were saying they seized a bunch of guns and with basically the auto block for a Glock, and there was one of them there. But yeah, totally different article.
Yeah, this one's got lots.
Yeah. Well,
Lots and lots.
he's got a few things there that he definitely did not obtain legally. Just
AK mags for and Type 81,
That's
Type 81, M14. That looks like a CQA, one of the Norks.
I'm just looking at that little short barrel handgun on the on the bottom row,
Right
third
there?
one in. Yeah,
Mhm.
that doesn't look legal length, but I don't know.
Could be.
Nonetheless, they took an opportunity to show off their little confiscation, and this person is staring down the barrel of a few charges. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that they weren't, just a career criminal, because then the government would have gone easy on them. However, last in the news, and this was news to me until a few minutes ago, we know who is going to be handling the confiscation and destruction of our firearms. That will be
destruction, not confiscation.
Destruction. Well, at some point, those confiscated firearms are going to end up at Colt Canada CZ. They will be doing the destruction of all of our guns, including ones that they made and sold to us. So they suck, and y'all should tell them so, politely, in polite letters. Dear Colt Canada, you guys suck. I will not be buying from you again, even though you mostly aren't allowed to sell things that I would buy. Thank you.
I think they had one product, and
Yeah.
they had one.
No, I mean, the government crushed their business and said, well, we've still got government contracts, so might as well just take guns from the people. But I don't know. Wherever this goes a year or 2 years down the road, I guess, if things do change, there certainly won't be a huge thirst to buy Colt Canada products, which is unfortunate. I generally support buying Canadian. Anywho, moving right along through the sad and into the slightly less sad new gun stuff. So I don't know who posted this first one. Alex continues to push the envelope.
Are these
with
from last week?
TM22. I don't think this one
no,
is. The rest of them I populated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just this first one.
So Alex is this guy who does Alex's
Homebrew?
homebrew stuff. Yeah. And one of the things he's working on is making TM22s very light and small. And
look at
yeah,
that.
without a stock or anything like that on there, you can get them down to 2.698 pounds. I believe
Has anybody read into why? Or is it just for funsies?
fast. Go fast.
Well, but like the weight of the stock is not going to affect the speed of the gun in any capacity.
No.
No,
But not having a forend on there is great. And fiberglass, or sorry, carbon fiber shrouded barrel, that's going to be nice and light.
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't want to touch it, but
No.
I don't know. More power to him. As long as he stays within the realms of the law, wonderful. And I have posted a couple of things here, which are fun. So, Firearms Outlet Canada has some really smoking deals on some lever guns right now. Somebody, you got a pop up there.
Do you want another one? Oh, here's the other one.
Yeah, I posted two that I was interested in. This is the other problem. So they've got several lever guns. Highly recommend taking a peek at them. But they're Citadel LevTech 92 lever action in 44 mag, 16.5 inch, regularly $900 and on sale for $749.95. And they have them in stock. Really tempting. And then they have the exact same gun, but in 45 long Colt. Now that gun normally retails like $1,100 and is on sale for $799.95. That's a really good deal for a 45 long Colt lever gun, especially with the crackhead prices that lever guns have been on like lately. So as much as I don't know, this is what's slowing down my purchase of an over-under shotgun, is knowing that there are other deals to be had, and I can really only justify one new toy this year. So at least right now, before Christmas, shouldn't be buying myself stuff. But these were both really interesting. So yeah, folks should go check those out and buy them before I do. And then I also posted this little thing from Tenda. I just thought it was cute. Norinco JW 15A compact. It's a little bolt action 22, and they got it coming with like how many rounds? You're selling it with with a pack of ammo as well. 400 rounds. Yeah, so you get a little bolt action 22 that's going to be of moderate,
poor quality,
poor to moderate quality.
Yeah, Dustin. Did you not remember the picture Adriel sent us? Sporting rifle. It's not spelled correct.
I know this gun isn't good. This gun is just cheap, and I found it entertaining, so I posted it.
This is the same action as that Mauser one.
It's really rough. It like even the photos, like they didn't try.
Canada, buy a Mark II. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But the price, I mean,
How
but
much
you
is
didn't. It with the 400 rounds, it is $259.99,
and with shipping.
I will spend a little bit more on the Mark II, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, by all means. I thought it was entertaining.
Entertaining, yes.
Yes, this is why I posted it. And with that, we will end our new gun stuff section and move on to the main topic. And this week, we will be talking about what to do with our prohibs.
I'm not going to talk about what I'm going to do.
No, what like the royal we, the global we, what other people may or may not do with their prohibs.
So they came out with this delicious list of pricing, which for a lot of people, the way that they were wording it would actually net them out positive on all of this. Because if you take your AR stuff and you just send the lower,
yeah,
they're giving some pretty enticing pricing. And for some of the other guns, some of them they were really bad, but if on average you had like, I don't know, let's say 3 to 20 of these things, on the average you're going to be paid out more than you probably paid for them.
Speak for yourself. And I will actually point out, I disagree with you. The way it was worded You are not.
Hang on. I'm with you. This was just the price list. So they released the individual. They had the business price list before. It had some like whack numbers in there. Then they released this individual price list. They actually updated a couple things that were whack on there. The 9mm,
the R9,
the R9. They updated that one. It was at $650, and now it's at like $1,900. So they have updated a couple of those. But one thing that they also mentioned is that they only have $700 million to do this whole thing. Admin, buyback, business buyback, paying cops, all that kind of stuff.
Transportation, storage, destruction, all of that is going to cost millions and millions of dollars.
There is not going to be anything left to actually pay for guns.
No. And on the note of the wording at the top of that lovely price list, there is a very specific mention that the prices those are the prices. There is no guarantee of compensation for the firearms.
Does not
guarantee compensation.
So what's the compensation program about? What is happening?
Let's talk about submission. So in order to be qualified for this program, you need to submit a list of all of your prohib guns that you need to send in, and then at some point, maybe they'll get you to send them in and you'll get money, or maybe they'll get you to send them in and there won't be any money. And just to cut to the chase, there won't be any money. There won't be any money. They don't have enough money to cover even the restricted firearms that they have registered. Never mind the many, many more non-restricted firearms, because I think most people prefer to have non-restricted than restricted.
Yep.
There's just going to be a lot of them out there. There's going to be more. They don't have any money for those. So if you put your name on that, if you put your guns on that list, you're just giving the government a list of stuff that they can then demand from you later on because you've self-registered them. So I think what the government's done here is ensure non-compliance.
And
because anyone who some people are going to race for it. Some people are going to see that money and they're going to say, "Oh, I'd love to sell my GS or that Kiltech RDB or something like that for, what they have. I think they had like 1,900 or something silly like that.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to get out from under their Keltec if they had a chance?
Yeah. So some people, they want to get out from under their Keltec and get some real money for it, right?
Yeah.
But there's no money for that Keltec.
No.
There's no money for that thing.
No.
So, and there's no confiscation regime set up either. Like they're testing in Cape Breton right now, 200 guns only.
$100,000 it's going to cost them for that too. That's so just
a pilot project. So it'll cost more, but holy, that is a bunch. I don't know how much marketing that's covering.
I think you got to race.
No. That's the $100,000.
Right?
The $100,000. That's what the contract paid to the police of Cape Breton. Yeah.
That's not even the guns yet.
Yeah, that's not paying for the guns. That's $100,000 allocated to pay the police of like that municipality.
That's $500 per gun that they need. So if you took, they might. So like the basic math that most people have been throwing around, that it's hard to ballpark this stuff, but it's going to be somewhere around 100,000 guns that they might be able to collect.
Maybe.
And there's 126,000 restricted guns that are now prohibited that have to be returned.
Just saying, the math is already not mathing. It's
what
it is.
No, it already doesn't. But they are aware of that. Our public safety minister vocally aware of that and recognized such that he offered to pay the difference to his tenant. They know that this is a non-starter from the start, and it is an opportunity for them to put their boot on the neck of every legal gun owner, because what it will ensure is that all of those non-compliant folks will suddenly be very, very quiet, because you don't want to draw attention to yourself if you've got a safe full of formerly non-restricted, now prohibited firearms where you could get stacking charges for possession of a prohibited weapon once the amnesty's gone. That's just my tinfoil hat of it all. They're aware that it's not going to work. The public safety minister knows that there is no ability to implement this nationwide. So.
Well, Canada Post's not going to do it. They're too busy on strike. They don't want to do it in any case.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alberta and Saskatchewan will only license confiscation agents. They have to be all provincially licensed. So it's not likely we will get any of that. That program's not getting to Alberta and Saskatchewan.
I've also heard that some people said, but I haven't seen official sources proven that Alberta and Saskatchewan residents are just not eligible for compensation at all.
I mean, right now nobody is.
Technically, right now nobody is. A lot of people are looking at this as saying, like, "Ooh, how do I participate? How do I get in early?" And the short answer is you can't.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how many people are like rushing to get in
Western Canada. They're gonna roll it out province by province, get the east done and taken care of, and west no.
No, David Eby will certainly be happy to see all of our firearms confiscated.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a say on when his program rolls out, though.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of does.
I mean,
he could roll it out with the provincial, with the blessing of the province, and the municipalities are just, they're beholden to the province. So,
yeah,
he won't.
Yep.
The money will go to the Maritimes and Quebec before, and then the money will all be gone.
Oh yeah,
won't even get through Ontario.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ontario is apparently not going to take part anyway, but
Ontario is going to be tricky if your jurisdiction is an OPP. What are you going to do? Go to the bigger cities?
Well, it's like half the guns in Canada are in that province, and that province is saying no, thank you. So, and then like another quarter of the guns are in the prairies, and the prairies are saying no, thank you. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how long you have a death grip on this garbage, badly implemented, not gonna work thing, but they seem real obsessed with not letting it go. Natty Pie she's so close to the finish line. She's finally going to be able to punish all those evil gun owners, and she wants it so bad. I don't know.
It's in their soul. It's the soul of the LPC.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
let's talk about what's realistically going to happen. They're piloting a project right now. It's going to go. They'll buy the 200 firearms.
Yeah.
And then they try to roll it out to some other places over the next year. Like, this is not enough time. October 2026 is when the amnesty ends again. Are they going to kick it forward again? Or are they just going to say, "Yeah, we tried. The program's over. You guys are all just illegal gun owners now"?
I've been back and forth on this because, all right, so I can talk about me and the firearms that I have that are registered to me that are now prohibited. And because I'm in a weird position such that I have a business license, that means I do have to comply on some level. And I'm not sure, I'm still back and forth on how I want to comply. I could, when that program opens up nationwide, I could try and get in that first little bit of queue and actually try to get some money for my formerly restricted, now prohibited guns. And I would 100% just send stripped lowers, because stripped lowers are all they want.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Take them. Give me the thousands and thousands of dollars that they're worth. And, that might be an okay deal if I was actually going to see any of that money. But I don't know. So I've got four options. I can comply right out the gate. Best chance to see something for that money, or something for that loss. That make me sad. I really, really would like to hold on to, especially my 1AR actually means quite a bit to me, and I would like to keep it for as long as possible. I am exploring exporting to my FFL friend down in the States. It's a bit of a hassle, and it's going to cost money, which is a pain in the ass. Or I invest more money here into this house, and I convert a space that could be converted into business storage, and I transfer those firearms begrudgingly to my business, knowing that it is nearly impossible for me to transfer them back, even if things do change for us, just by nature of what my business license is. But I'd be able to maintain and keep them. Or hold my breath and hold on to those things until like a week before the end of the amnesty, and either turn them in right before the amnesty goes away. Hope that the amnesty gets extended, because I agree with you, Adriel. I don't think that they have a snowball's chance in hell of fully implementing and folding this thing up inside the next year. Like,
Yeah,
I really don't.
I don't know how they're going to be able to say, okay, all these people in all these provinces that didn't participate, you're all just
criminals
illegal.
now.
Yeah, you're all criminals.
And like what do you do about that when we're already in a like crisis of an inability to house? We are letting serious criminal offenders do their time at home because we don't have space for them in our jails. And like, you know, our gun owners outnumber law enforcement 10-1. Like, I don't know what they think they're going to do if they have gone so far with these bans that they have criminalized like most of us. You know, I get that they can go find a hunter here or there that shoots 5 rounds a year and say, I don't need no assault rifle, but there's 500,000 of those. Like, best estimates, 500,000 or somewhere in there of something that qualifies as assault style, weapons. So I just don't see it. I don't see their ability to fully implement and fold this up in a year.
Yeah. And Sporting Rifles mentioning something here that those AR uppers, they are prohibited devices, and they would be turned in with no compensation. That's why they made the lower the bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to worry about that part of the problem. Again, I'm one of a very, very few people that has a license that allows them to be in possession of prohibited devices. So I could keep my uppers, right? Like I can keep those without being in like criminal danger. And yeah, I don't know. Those are my options, and I'm really struggling with what I want to do about it. Because like on one end, I could take the money theoretically for those guns that I would be turning in and use them to convert that space and just buy some machine guns. Like that would be more or less what I would do. Like, okay, so you're going to give me this much money. Great. I'm going to go buy some much more illegal guns with that. But like legally, because that's the way our rules work, man.
You have an exemption.
I have an exemption for that. So I don't know. That's just me. I mean, you guys can maybe talk theoretically about what other folks might do depending on where they are. Like, I don't know. Who does this? It should just be focused on Quebec. If it's for Quebec votes, great. Ban those guns in Quebec. Like, it sucks to be in Quebec.
Oh, there's just another argument for doing like U.S. style, where it's by the state province, state by state, or province by province instead of just federal.
Well, it's a better argument for the grandfathering provision that we should have gotten from the start. Every other firearms prohibition in our history has involved grandfathering, and this one should too, because logistically, it's the smart, easy, cheap option.
Logistically, it is.
I mean, we're in the 6th year.
I know. That's the other thing. Like,
what has happened in the last 6 years that says, oh, yeah, no, these definitely need to be taken away? Like,
well, they know that the pendulum has they just missed having their heads cut off in the last election. They got so lucky that Orange Man bad, but they know that does not hold. They don't. I mean, I don't know if you guys have just kept an eye on the polls in the last 6 months. Honeymoon's starting to fade. They're starting to level out. NDP pulls their head out of their ass in 6 months. They only need to get another 5-6% steady to be a problem for the Liberals. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's
Carney would have to get some stink on him. It would have to be more than just like people being tired of him, because he can just change things, right? Let's say people get tired of our immigration rate being too high. Carney could just turn it down and say, okay, I've turned it down.
Yeah, but he hasn't. There's been enough things where he's said he's going to do one thing and then he does another, right?
Like, then you have to actually pay attention to what's actually happening. I think a lot of people don't. They just listen to the noise on it. So I don't think we're getting at a new government in like a year or two. I think we're going to be looking at closer to three plus.
We should put some money on that. I don't know, honestly, like for real, not sure if we're not going to see an election in November. Like, it is unclear who is going to vote for the budget. The budget is bad. We are in in crisis levels of debt. Like the credit cards are maxed out, and they've just extended their overdraft protection. Like it is wild. And I realize that
Here's the thing: the minivan squad, the NDPs aren't ready to take another fight, so I think they'll try to buy themselves sometime.
But all right, they're in this lose-lose position too. I'm sorry, this has gotten political. They're in this weird lose-lose position too, Tony. The NDP have two really bad options: support the Liberals again, and do the thing that left them with a minivan-sized caucus, because that's how they got there. You want to know how they got to that minivan? Supporting the Liberals for half a decade, keeping them in power.
But if they could just use it one last time, say, well, we didn't know what we're doing because we don't have a leader. Now we have a new leader. The whole image is new.
They don't come back from it.
Yeah, no, supporting the Liberal. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think them supporting the Liberals wouldn't be as bad this time around at this point in time. It's a different leader. It's a different.
But it's the same problem, though.
Yes, I know. I haven't seen anything being said or anything. So I am.
The budget.
Quite honestly, I'm mushroom on this because I haven't been seeing a whole lot of uproar or anything.
The budget is 36% larger than the budget they were ready to lynch Trudeau for. Like, it is enormous and it is scary. And the PBO came out and said it is scary and something needs to be done. The Bloc aren't going to vote for them. The Bloc have an election coming up really soon provincially. They're not going to support the budget. They just came out and said, we are not supporting this. The Conservatives can't support it. If the NDP don't support it, we have an election by default. And everybody's sort of scratching their head wondering what in the heck is going to happen in November when that budget comes out, because nobody really wants an election, but also nobody wants to support that budget because it is bad. And like, trust me, I'm right there. I don't want the election either. The NDP don't have a leader, and they're hovering between 8 and 12%, which is not the number. They need 15% steady for them to be a problem for the Liberals. But they know that too. The NDP know that they are one more bad supporting the Liberals election away from not existing and never coming back, ever. And I don't know, man.
You think the NDP are thinking right now about stuff? You think they got anyone over there that can think about stuff? Who's their leader? Who's the leader of the NDP?
Yeah, well, they don't have one.
He hasn't gone over there.
So the party
plans to make one.
There's two candidates right now. Neither of them are great. One of them is at least talking a little bit of sense, but she caught a bunch of shit for talking sense, because you got one person that's like, yeah, full speed ahead on woke crazy nonsense. Let's continue to alienate everybody but the furthest left. And then their most recent candidate has made an observation publicly, and she's getting lambasted for it. I don't know. For recognizing that if they have any hope of existing as a party, they have to appeal to the labor vote, and they haven't done a good job of that for a while. And to do that again, they're going to have to throw away some of their nonsense. And so no, the short answer to your question, Adriel, no. I don't think that there's anybody actively thinking in that party, but the party is bigger than just the caucus, right? Like, the party exists in multiple provinces as well, because like they're linked, right? So like it's huge out here. It's fairly large in Manitoba, and they still have, like, there's still an effort there for the party to continue to exist. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm really hoping that 3i Atlas, like, we get photos of it in 2 more days and it's an alien craft and we don't have to worry about any of this. Like,
seems like we are heading towards, something crazy.
Something.
Yeah.
I know.
Probably not, though. Probably not. That's just more distractions from the Epstein files.
You're right. Yeah.
I think like the government is purposefully setting up a situation because they can't afford it. They can't afford to compensate everyone fairly. They're setting up a situation where they're going to have a pseudo registry of some of them. They're going to pay for some of them. And then a whole whack load of them are just not going to comply, and they're not going to be able to collect them. And they're just going to create a bunch of paper criminals overnight.
Yeah.
Similar to what happened in New Zealand and Australia and Canada in the past as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, New Zealand's compliance rate was less than 30%. And even then that was a really massaged number. But we know that they're going to use their hyper low estimate to bump up their compliance number here too. They're, even if they get 50,000 ARs, and be like, hey, we got 40% of all the guns. We did it.
Their compliance number will be based on the registry that they built.
That's what I mean.
So their compliance will be like super high. Yeah. Not on the real number.
But like for myself, as much as getting some money for those guns would make me feel better, I think for myself, I'm still more in the gonna wait and see and hold on to them till the last bitter moment that I have to, before I have to make that decision, because I accept I'm not going to make any money off of them. And everybody else listening should probably come to the same conclusion. Plus, the longer that we resist, the less successful it is, and the more likelihood that we have, because this is the other thing. This is the other thing that we have to recognize, is that there are people supporting us, both within the Conservative Party, but I will point out that there are a bunch of like rural liberal caucus, right? Like if you look at where the liberal seats are, mostly in the cities, but there are rural liberal caucus members who recognize not only that this is horseshit, but that there are people in their ridings that are actively going to be harmed by this. And it's not theoretical anymore. It's not like every other stinking year where it's just been a thing that's been kicked down the road. It is active now. And I don't know. I could see there being some pressure for the really simple solution of, hey, people have spoken. They're not going to comply. Let's not make these people criminals. Let's grandfather these things the way we should have in the start and be done with it.
I think you could assume that the Conservatives might do that. They might either reverse it or grandfather us in, but not before being criminals for 3 years.
Again, I mean, what I'm saying is I could see a stronger push for that. Like I don't know if you like been watching the last week. The Liberals cannot catch a break on this. It was really nice of Gary to like have 20 minutes of unfiltered honesty, because it's just every chance they get a chance to talk about it, they're talking about it. And
they always lie about it, though. Like Marco would lie about it, and Bill would lie about it. They all lied, like very clearly lied about it. Not as like salaciously as Gary did, but I don't know. I guess if this is news like next week, then maybe. But I don't even think it's news this week.
It is. Oh no, it certainly has been. That's what's interesting about it. Like, while I agree, it probably won't last being news next week, they're not letting go, and they're approaching it from other angles. Not only having like all of the police like unanimously come out and say this is not going to work, apart from like whatever bullshit little municipal police forces that can use $100,000 that the government's throwing at them. But like
they've been saying that for years, and it still hasn't changed Liberals' mind. Like the chiefs and the unions and that, they've been saying, no, this is not going to work. This is not what we need to do. And the Liberals haven't cared. So like right now, it's not going to make a difference.
But the one difference I think is that right now Canada is aware that there is a serious crime problem, and that all the government has been able to say over and over and over and over is gun bans, more gun bans. We're banning more legal guns. We are attacking more legal gun owners. That is our whole plan on crime. And that might have flown until like this year. Somebody knew
there's some more honesty coming into politics. Like there's some more honesty on some of those critical files. I think there's so many other things happening right now that for the average person, this gun thing is like just not on the, like here. I did a quick search of Canada for like news under global news, and there's like, Canada Post on strike, and Trump, and this, and more Trump, and more Trump, and more Trump, and there's some more Trump over there,
Orange
and
man back.
ostriches. What's
Well,
that?
I mean, I literally like I just watched like a second like CTV thing from this week, and also like there was a CPAC thing on this. Like it hasn't gone away, and again, like we're one more like public bad criminal shooting from just continuing like having the. So there's also like a committee right now, like the committee on crime, and while the liberals tried real hard to steer the conversation away from the gun thing, Andrew Lawton made sure to ask very specifically, because it is a committee on the active crime crisis that we've got going on, is this going to help? And again, you've got police saying no, and the government has had several months to deal with crime, and they have offered us nothing but elimination of free speech and gun bans on legal gun owners.
That's another thing.
Like
the conservatives somewhat support that the online harms BS as well.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all. I don't like either of the parties' stance on that.
Nope.
Oh, that was another news. Is that bill actually passed or what? That internet bill?
Bill 8.
Bill 8. No, it's
moving
just
through.
Yeah, it's gross.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's terrifying is what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The minister of industry can turn off your internet.
Yep.
With that one. You're like, you know what, Kyle? No
internet for you.
Actually, not you. You're untouchable.
No.
Dustin or Tony or I. They could do that to Kelly, but it's only like she only had half an internet to start with.
I was gonna say she wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, it's I think what we're gonna see is they're gonna ram it through. Gary said that he wants it done. In his private conversation, he said, no, Carney wants this done. He wants it done. He wants it finished with. That means that we get to October 2026, and that's like, okay, that's it. You're all criminals now, and lots of people are criminals for 3 years, and then hopefully a government change happens, and then hopefully we're not criminals anymore. Like that seems like the Occam's razor, like the simplest.
I don't think this government's going to make it 3 years.
Okay,
I really don't think it's going to make it 3 years.
Yeah. Like, I still think that's how the gun file is going to, like, I still think that's how this confiscation thing is going to roll out.
I feel that Gary's going to go away during the shuffle that happens over the Christmas break.
Probably.
And they're going to put someone new in. And if Carney is as smart as he thinks he is, he will do the same about face that he has done on other things. This is the thing, because they can't get rid of Gary completely. Like, this is the other weird thing about it. The reason Gary still has a job, like, I don't know if you guys know this, the reason Gary still has a job, he punches way above his weight for them as far as both like votes and the amount of money that he brings in from like.
Does he really? I have no
yeah, no. There's the like the background on why Gary had a job the next day after that is 100% because he is a net force for money and votes for that party in a huge way, and. So I don't know, like they'll shuffle him out for sure, but if they have any sense and they want to save face, we've given them the opportunity to do it. All he's got to do, like, come back after Christmas, be like, we put someone new on the file, we've taken another look at this with fresh eyes. Trudeau's a fucking idiot, and we're just going to grandfather this, close up the shop, and call it a day. And okay, great, Natalie's upset, but who cares? You know, and honestly, they're not going to lose that many votes in Quebec. Like, it's not going to be a win-lose thing for votes in Quebec anyway. And I think that they know that. That's my prediction, is that if we see an about face, it'll be after Christmas, after they've moved Gary to another less visible file.
Okay, so a couple things. I think, and this was, I saw this mentioned in a post somewhere, and I absolutely agree with it, is if Gary leaves that position, you're not going to get someone more gun friendly in there.
No. Yeah.
Like, it'll be worse. Another thing is, I mean, I love your guys' optimism, but I find it increasingly difficult to be optimistic. Where I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think you won't see him again. I mean, we're in the 6th year. Even like at some point, it's just trying to reverse stuff becomes almost impossible.
Just like
And
why
there's gonna be a lot.
we don't
I don't
have
like what I'm saying.
nunchucks.
So
we're not allowed to have nunchucks. We're not allowed to have throwing stars.
right,
Because they put that in the 90s because they had too many ninja movies, and we still have it today.
you're not allowed pepper spray.
Yeah, all right, but the ninja stars and nunchucks aren't a thing that you had 500,000 people have, and like a large portion of a voting block, right?
Or
like,
a knife that you can open with one hand.
yeah.
That's probably at least 500,000 people.
But
Like it.
I don't know. I understand the mood feels grim, but I don't know if I completely agree. I do think that there is some hope still. Pierre's still talking about it like constantly, and that's not going to go away in the next year. It's a great wedge issue for both of them right now. It really is. It is huge for the base, for the Conservatives. And as long as it's huge for the base, hell, like look at some of their like most public people talking on some of these files. Like, I don't think that that's a thing that goes away if the Conservatives do win even a minority. There's a whole bunch of stuff they can clean up with an OIC. And if they're really cheeky, they'll adjust the law that stops them from being able to use an OIC to prohibit or to unprohibit firearms, and just fix the law and then use the OIC.
Yeah.
Derek here.
Yeah, we've got some comments we gotta.
Oh yeah.
We did overturn the long gun registry. Don't forget that. Yeah. And that was on that was promised before they formed government. They formed government, and it took 10 years for them to actually overturn it. It might have not been that long. Or second term.
Yeah,
it took
they
them 2
needed
terms to actually overturn it.
It was the third. It was the third run because it was after. Yeah, they had to have a majority.
So that wasn't right away. Yes, it overturned, but it was not right away.
No, I get that, but again, I'm just looking at where the country is going to be in 6 months. We're going to be broker than we are now, which is already bad.
Like don't care about that.
Like, sorry.
The voters don't care about that.
No, you're wrong. Sorry, Tony, you are wrong about that. People, it is like
the economy would have to be really bad.
Cost of living is like number one back on people's lists, though. Like
it should have been for the last election, but then
but it was Trump bad. It was Orange Man bad. That Black Swan event, like that, you can't look at that and be like, well, that's going to happen again. All of the polling, while Trump is still like a thing, and he's still certainly a thing for the middle-aged white women that voted for Carney and all the boomers. Like for most people, that's dropped down back to like 8th or 10th on the list, because it's like, okay, great, crazy man's in charge. He's going to be in charge for a while. The real test and the real question is, Carney said it himself. Judge me by the price of groceries. Well, that hasn't gone down. You've got an increasingly large number of people using food banks. You've got a government that is actively being disingenuous and lying constantly, and people are tired of it. We're also in a like privileged position, like it or not. Like, none of us are hurting horribly, but that is not a true story for most people in the country. And then you stack on top of that, like the longer we wait for the next election. I don't know if you guys saw, like the CBC ran a ghost poll election with like 16 to 18-year-olds, people that like couldn't vote but would be able to vote in the next election. There's a huge swath of kids that want to vote Conservative, and if that holds true, that's a thing.
Okay, so let's play this game. Let's be optimistic, and there's an election within a year.
Okay,
and say Conservatives take it. How long before we have until everything's reversed?
If they had a majority,
pre-2020, how long do you figure? And I don't know.
If they had a majority, they could do it in 6 months.
But I don't think it's going to be like within the first 100 days or whatever. So, but how long do you think? Keeping in mind the long gun registry and that. If they had a majority, they could get it done in 6 months. Less. Will they though?
I think so. I think that there would be good motivation to, It would be like a good food for the base thing. Undo all the damage, and then spend the next couple of years rewriting the Firearms Act, and give us a new Firearms Act like the year of the next election.
So you're thinking within a year of them back in office that providing a majority.
I mean, providing a majority, they could get it done in less than 6 months, and it was a thing that Pierre did say he was going to do. Now, again, that's a politician saying something, so almost expect the opposite. But it could easily be rammed through. If they had a majority, they can ram that down the throat of Parliament and have it finished in 6
absolutely
months. And they could, and they should. Now, to get a majority, the thing that you guys aren't looking at is like, the NDP only needs to be at like 15% to be a problem, like for the Liberals to not have majority territory anymore. That's all they need.
They would have to drastically go back to pro-union, pro-worker stuff and get off the super left-wing position politics. And if they go back, they would need a drastic. Maybe if they got like Notley on. Notley was pretty good for that in Alberta.
I'm surprised she's not running for the federal stuff.
Me too.
It would be really interesting if they did go back to like a pro-worker, pro-union thing, because they would actually probably have to do an about-face on some of their anti-gun stuff. But we don't really actually want them going after that demographic, because that's the Conservatives have vacuumed that up. That's part of their like 39 to 41%. We want them to hold on to that. So the NDP can stay crazy. They just need to stop supporting the Liberals. There's 15% of the population that's crazy.
They just gotta vocalize the crazy less.
It's not. No, you know what? They don't even need to vocalize the crazy less. Honestly, Carney's done a good job of saying, "Hey, I am not Justin Trudeau. I am not this crazy left-wing idiot." And there's a lot of people that voted Liberal who are crazy left-wing idiots and just wanted to make sure that Orange Man didn't win, and believed all of the rhetoric that Pierre was basically Orange Man North. Like, I don't know.
Sporting Rifle says Dustin is in a betting mode tonight. I will bet that Conservatives will not reverse anything in 6 months, not even in the first 4 years if they win.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I was gonna say maybe 2 or second term.
If they
What's the spread? How much do I got to put down for 3?
if they didn't do it in that term, like they'd have to reverse it, because like right now, like we're like, what we're talking about is people literally being criminals. So they have to fix some of that immediately. To speak nothing of fixing all the damage to the businesses. Like, it's going to take half a decade for anything to even start to recover in that world. They'd have to get on it pretty quick. And they've learned, I would hope that they've learned from what the Conservatives did to us the last time around. Like, I don't know if anybody remembers the last time around when they threw us, they're like, well, we gave you the long gun registry, and maybe we'll get to this other stuff if you vote for us. Who else are you going to vote for? Like, that was Peter MacKay's stance last time around. Who else are you going to vote for?
Mm-hmm.
And they lost big. But we have proven in this last election, like it or not, we're a large voting bloc, and we were beneficial to their numbers in a big way. So I don't know. I think you're wrong, Sporting Rifle, but I could also be wrong. And I mean, at the end of the day, I am the guy hedging my bets, trying to get out of this stupid country. So
sometimes I found it really funny that if I'm listening back to episodes, I remember one of the ones I listened to was Caliber Magazine on. It's like, this government won't last over 2 years, and then 4 years later, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that was based on like no minority government had lasted that long ever. Right. Like,
that's one thing that Derek was mentioning, is saying, most minority governments don't make the full term, but boy, that last one sure almost made it.
Yeah, that was almost full term, but then you got to look at the stretch of how many minority governments he kept winning. Like, we've had close to a decade of minority governments.
Well, it's been a
Oh,
decade
did
now.
he win a?
Well, no, he had a majority first term.
Yeah,
So the first 4 years.
Did you have
he had a
majority first term? I thought you had
Yeah.
minority.
No, majority first term, and then it's been smaller and smaller minorities each time
Okay.
after that. And even now, like they had to throw their leader out for them to get another minority. And admittedly, I recognize it is like 2 seats from a majority.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah.
I recognize that, but that is also this weird place where there isn't like once the NDP have a leader again, there's no benefit in supporting them. Otherwise, it'll just be Jagmeet Singh again, and that would be a mistake. And I don't see anybody else lining up to get behind him.
But here's the thing: they need 2 votes. Like you said, there were 2 seats. They need 2 votes. So, how many seats does the NDP hold?
7.
So they need 2 members to go rogue.
Yeah.
The whole party doesn't need to support it. So they could have 2 members go rogue and break party lines,
Yeah, they can
save
have
the Liberals, and still not look like they're backing the Liberals.
They could have floor crossers, I suppose, but I think that the damage that does to the like honestly, the damage any support for the Liberals from the NDP does to them long term, I think is a thing that they've definitely got in the calculus.
Dustin, my counter argument is you need to think about NDP's short term, right? Like their objective is survive until we find a freaking new leader. So I'm thinking maybe this fall they wouldn't do that just because like they're not ready.
Well, all you need is 2 people to go rogue and vote for the budget and break party lines. It happens all the time.
So, no, I understand. I do. I think that's a hard pill to swallow. That's like honestly, the NDP is probably what will end up voting for the budget. Like if I had to guess, it will probably be a couple of them that are the reason that we don't have an election. I'm not saying that like we're going to have an election in November. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just saying everybody's crystal ball right now is like, we don't know, man. And like the next month, it's going to be real interesting. And like the arguments against supporting the budget are stacking. Because the NDP don't have a leader, it will be really easy for a couple of them to vote for the budget. You are not wrong. And keep them going because the NDP does not want to have an election right now. They're not ready.
No. They couldn't afford to have the last election, never mind another one right now.
Yeah, but here's the other thing, though. Like, if they're feeling in any way buxom, they're not going to do worse than the last election. Like, maybe they get too many bans.
We don't know. There's
a lot of people. There's a lot of NDP voters that park their vote with the Liberals who are unhappy about it. Like, a lot of them. And while there's still like more support for Carney than Pierre, that's always going to exist. I'm just saying, I don't see this government being a 3-year government. I don't see them finishing this confiscation scheme in the next year. And either we get an extension to the amnesty just out of sheer like appeal to public, or if they're smart, they just give us grandfathering and leave us alone, like every other government. Or the confiscation scheme goes bad and someone gets shot. Like that's the other part of the calculus that's kind of scary. You know, like if the government really wants to do raids, you drag the wrong family out onto the front lawn. The cops just shot a 15-year-old, like unarmed 15-year-old the other day. Like, you know, that is not outside the realm of possibility either. And somebody's got to be paying attention to that. But yeah, I don't know. That's where my head is at. I have no idea what I'm going to do just yet.
And even if you did, you shouldn't say.
No, well, I mean, my 4 options are all lawful options. I'm not touting non-compliance. I will either move my guns somewhere legal. Oh, that was the other option. Like anybody who's not me and doesn't have a business license, like, you know, secondary storage locations in Saskatchewan or Alberta, you know, if you got family, there's gonna be sanctuary states for your guns.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I guess that topic's done.
A little bit off track.
Yeah.
A lot of uncertainties ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way.
What else is new?
Yeah.
When was the last time stuff was certain? 2019.
Well,
I think it was the last time
we
anything
know
gun
for
wise
a
was.
fact that whatever we do, Natalie Provost will not be happy about it. So that
Yeah,
that
but she's
part is
not.
certain.
Here's the thing: she's not going to be happy anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
So that's certain. Doesn't matter if we confiscate all the guns. She's going to say the SKS was designed for the battlefield to kill the most amount of people in the shortest amount of time. Blah 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 blah. We need to plan that too.
I kind of want to see her get her way on that one. I know that that's like dark timeline stuff, but I kind of want to see her get her way on that one because the outrage from the Aboriginal community there would be huge. Or they let the Aboriginal folk get grandfathered, and then the argument to not let everybody else get grandfathered is a poor one. And like the logical like the logic breakdown of like, well, this group can be grandfathered, but that group can't be.
Logic went out way long ago. Like that, it's nice to. It's nice to think that way, but there's no logic with it from the beginning, and like as it goes longer, even less and less and less because it's proven not to be an issue. Because hey, guess what? You banned it. You let them keep it. They haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Right?
This is fair. I mean, the government doesn't operate on a
logic is getting less and less and less as it goes with nothing happening. But yeah, that
you're not wrong.
Pretty much a dead horse now.
Well, with that, yeah, we can call that main topic done. Have we updated this? If email feels like
yes, that email's new.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to listener feedback now that y'all have listened to me ramble on. Tony, do you? Oh no, you're on a laptop.
I can see the email, but someone
All
has
right,
something from YouTube's. Hey guys, just want to point out another great VR training tool for those of us who love our scatterguns. It is called Clay Hunt VR. I have it on the MetaQuest 2. The key with this one is to buy the VR gun stock from Texture VR, and he provided a link, texturevr.com. This allows you to mock up your controllers onto a realistic stock that can be adjusted and weighted to be very, very similar match to your actual shotgun. That's pretty cool. I laid mine out right on the top of my waterfowl gun and matched the length of pull and angle of my stock. I even matched the weight of the gun within an ounce, so it feels like I've got a big, long waterfowling barrel all the way in the front of me when I'm behind the VR headset. I find it great for practicing my mount and leading targets. It's also a bit of a workout. Usually you get a break in between targets at the range or hunting, but with this one, you end up holding the gun in front of you for extended period of time. This results in tired shoulders and arms. Keep up the great show. Dan from Hastings. Hastings where? I'm thinking ounce, so maybe in the States?
Could be from Hastings in Vancouver. Dan, what Hastings are you from? I hope you don't live on the street. Although you probably wouldn't be.
You live on the street, play with his VR headset while he has a waterfowl shotgun in his back. It's good. I love it.
Fair.
That's awesome.
Kyle, do you mind doing the YouTube comments?
Yeah, not at all. There are a few comments here. So first one is on our VR gun games. It's from Lawrence Matthew Riggs, 8023. I was listening to episode 623 about VR gun games and training. Not sure if you know this, Tony, but the American military has been using video games for years to help soldiers work together. They're also using VR to train soldiers to clear buildings. Now they can take a quick scan of a building, place virtual enemies inside, and then have soldiers put on VR headsets. It creates a combination of real-life environments and AI-controlled opponents. It's also a lot cheaper to do this, and they're getting great results with it. Love the show.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. I did not know. I would probably get pretty dizzy in that.
And then we got a few comments on last week's show. Gawain Says the Savage RXR22 looks nice to me. It sounds like their mags might be slightly different than 1022 mags, so if that means they can come out with some new higher capacity mags, I would like to build one out for plinking.
Yeah.
Price is certainly right.
That is a good point.
Yeah. Then we got a couple from Eddie. Dustin, it was good to meet you. If the weather was warmer, I might have worn sandals. It's not quite flip-flops, but it's open-toed. It would have been great to have it would be great to have a leave me the hell alone license, but we all know authoritarians can't allow that. They might even promise it, but we know they won't follow through on it. You have to make a prop for Puppet Gary and coordinate its mouth with his soundbite. And then Tony, Federal's Prairie Storm shells also feature their flight control flex wads. They're great for longer range shots, such as flushing birds, as those wads open from the rear and essentially patterns like a full choke out of any choke. Those wads made their debut in their Black Cloud line of waterfowl shells.
I did not know flight controls came out of like shot shells. I thought it was a very much buckshot only thing, but good to know. Good to know.
I did not realize that the Prairie Storms were the flight control wads either, but it does make sense. Like they're it's basically a long range wad because it's not just.
Yeah. By the way, illegal for IPSC, which is kind of weird, but what do you do?
Is that
that's it that's all the YouTube. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna call out Eddie for only leaving one comment. So.
No, he left 2.
Wait, well, that was 2.
Dustin,
oh wait,
Yeah,
no,
that was 2 comments.
Oh god.
He completed his.
It felt like it was all one comment. Okay, you didn't specify.
I took quite a few spaces there.
Fine. Well, with that, be sure to leave us a message on YouTube, Facebook. We read them out. It's wonderful. Do we do anything on Instagram? Let's go to Instagram here.
No.
Check us out.
It's been a hot minute.
Check us out on Discord. Listen to us on Spotify, and you can also sign up for our Patreon. We are actually posting things on Patreon right now, so some training videos and all sorts of good stuff. I gotta post some cool things up there. We do have a sponsor link for Bass Pro Canada, and we also have another one for Brownells. If you guys buy anything from either Bass Pro or Brownells, you should use our link, and we get a little tiny kickback that keeps the lights on around here, and we will read out at some point some of the cool stuff you bought, obviously anonymized, but nonetheless, you should definitely do that. And thank you to our supporters on Patreon. If you would like to email the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. And with that, do we have any shout outs? Anybody want to shout anyone out?
Yeah. I want to shout out, first, Team Canada for all their shooters that went to IPSC Worlds, and a special shout out to Taylor. Dude's a beast. He took 10th place in production optics, beating JJ Rakaza. He was...
Holy crap, I did not know that.
He was within 9% of Eric Graffel. Like, I think he finished like 91% of Eric Graffel. Like,
I think Melody was 10th or 12th out of all the ladies too. Like,
I think she was higher than that in ladies for production.
Yeah?
Higher than that in ladies. I gotta remember, but yeah,
way up there. Yeah.
Like, yeah, Taylor, you're an absolute beast. I never cease to be impressed by you. But we had some other good finishes, like their open team. I think they did pretty decent too. Yeah, that's all around. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably get them on the show pretty soon.
Would love to hear them talk about that.
For us.
Anybody else got any
just
shout outs?
Awesome. They're super awesome.
Yeah, definitely the best of us.
I get tired of listening how awesome they are.
Yeah.
You're pretty awesome too.
No, I'm not. Taylor's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just okay.
I'm thinking if I should feel less bad for myself because I'm racing against literally the top 10 person in the world. So that makes
You should.
better excuse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
You should definitely feel
Don't
less
feel
bad. No,
Aren't you
just
beating
have
him?
fun. Just,
Yeah.
He's got a wife he's got to take care of. You could be shooting out there more, Tony.
It's true.
It's
True.
Yeah, he only had a couple months to switch over to handgun from PCC, so
Yeah, it's been a busy hard
Like,
year.
it's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the only year that they're going to do 2 shooting disciplines in
Yes,
one.
I think it goes to every 4 years after this.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else got any shout outs? Yes, no? I want to shout out Tracy Wilson for organizing a lovely little protest at the epicenter of the confiscation effort going on in.
That'll be tomorrow, right?
That'll be tomorrow. So anybody that's in the area, definitely worth checking that out. So, but yeah, just shout out to Tracy Wilson and all the folks at the CCFR who are still actively fighting for us and have a little bit more faith than the rest of the panel on this show. Boy,
And
counters,
commenters.
all of you.
And commenters.
And commenters. Goodness, you all just like can't wait to get your guns taken away.
I've been waiting for 6 years.
All right. Well, if there's no more shout outs, I'm going to take the opportunity to say good night and sign off.
Later, everyone.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.